This video will demonstrate how to export a Revit model to VisualAnalysis and how to import a VisualAnalysis model into Revit. Let's get started. The VA-RevitLink makes use of Revit's analytical model as the structure to export. Therefore, it is critical to ensure the Revit analytical model is well defined. Please consult the Revit documentation for more information regarding management of the analytical model within Revit. Starting out in Revit, we have an analytical model that consists of analytical members for the wide flange beams, the HSS columns, and the HSS braces, as well as analytical panels for the 3 floors. After installing the VA-RevitLink, we can find the export, import, help, and training video commands on the add-in tabs of the ribbon. To start the export process, select the Export button, which will open the VA-RevitLink export dialog. The analytical model count shows that there are 50 analytical members and 3 analytical panels in the model that will be exported to VisualAnalysis. The default member options are used to specify sections for Revit members that are undefined or cannot be matched, as well as to define materials for members whose materials cannot be matched in VisualAnalysis. In a similar manner, the default panel options are used to set the materials for floors, walls, and other panels when the defined material cannot be matched in VisualAnalysis. Note, if you hover the cursor over any of the export parameters, a tooltip will pop up further explaining its function in the export process. Additional information on export parameters can be found in the VA-RevitLink help file. After clicking OK, an export summary will appear showing the exported objects when expanded. Clicking OK again allows us to save the VisualAnalysis project file. Now let's switch over to VisualAnalysis and look at our exported project. In VA, we see that the model matches our Revit analytical model. From here, we could define the boundary conditions, apply loads, view analysis results, and design the members. More information on these topics can be found in the VisualAnalysis help file. For simplicity, let's change the columns from HSS members with A500 steel to W12 by 45 columns with A992 steel. Let's also change the braces from HSS members to angles that are 5 by 5 by 3/8 with A36 steel. Furthermore, let's add another bay to the structure by selecting a portion of the model and using the Generate Copies feature to add a copy in the Y direction. One thing to keep in mind is that geometry changes made in VisualAnalysis cannot be merged back into the Revit model. Therefore, if we change the geometry in VisualAnalysis, new analytical members and panels will be created in Revit rather than existing ones being modified. Now let's save the model so that we can import it back into Revit. Before importing the changes made in VisualAnalysis into an existing Revit project, or before importing a VisualAnalysis project into an empty Revit project, we should check to make sure that all of the family symbols that we expect to be matched from the VisualAnalysis model are loaded into the Revit project. The VA-RevitLink does not load new families or modify existing families within the Revit project. If a Revit family instance cannot be matched to a VA object, the item will be skipped during the import. For our case, we see that the W12 by 45 that we are now using for the columns in VisualAnalysis is already loaded into the Revit model. We also see that the 5 by 5 by 3/8 angle that we are using for the braces in VisualAnalysis is not loaded into the model, and we will leave it this way for demonstration purposes. Next, let's select Import from the Add-ins tab on the ribbon. The pop-up reminds us that before importing the VisualAnalysis model, we should make sure that all the members and areas have the associated family symbols and types loaded into the Revit project. Clicking Continue Import, we can browse to the updated VisualAnalysis Project file that we saved to import the changes that we made to the model in VisualAnalysis. The VA-RevitLink import dialog shows a count of the members and the areas in the VA model, as well as a count of the members, links, and panels in the Revit model. The default member option allows us to select the default Revit symbol to use for beams, columns, and braces if VA members cannot be matched. Note, these defaults are only used for the creation of new members. Any existing members that cannot be matched will not be merged into the Revit model. For our example, let's set the default brace symbol to a WT 6x15 member. Clicking OK will start the import process. Once complete, a message box will be displayed providing us with an import summary of the process. For our case, we see the columns whose sections and materials were modified, and we see the new analytical members and panels that were added for the new bay. Notice that since the 5x5x3/8 angle was not loaded into Revit prior to import, the cross-section of the braces for the existing portion of the structure were unchanged, but the material was updated to A36. Also, the 6 new braces for the new bay were added as WT 6x15 members, since that is what was chosen for the default brace symbol during import. This demonstrates the importance of having the correct families loaded into Revit before importing a model from VisualAnalysis. After clicking OK, we see the updated analytical model with the W-shaped columns, and we can see the additional bay that was created. We also notice the HSS braces in the existing bay and the WT braces in the new bay. One final note is that the VA-RevitLink makes use of the Revit's analytical model when importing the model from VisualAnalysis. No changes to Revit's physical model will occur. For more information about managing the analytical and physical models in Revit, please consult the Revit documentation. Additional information on both importing and exporting model data between VisualAnalysis and Revit can be found in the VA-RevitLink help file. This video demonstrated how to export a Revit model to VisualAnalysis and how to import a VisualAnalysis model into Revit. We hope the VA-RevitLink helps you use both VisualAnalysis and Revit more efficiently. Thanks for watching and have a great day.